Good morning, everybody. I'm Josh Ellsworth with Stahls and Stahls TV, and we're excited to have you for day 3 of our live educational events titled Making It Together. We're excited. We have a helper today. Jenna's with us.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here with you, being able to present on different things that we can do while we're all at home and making it through everything.
Yeah, streaming to you every day, weekdays, 11 a.m. Here we've had a great turnout the last 2 days and people watching from all parts of the country, all parts of the world, and we've had really great feedback and interaction. So we'd like to encourage that. So if you can shout out who you are and where you're watching from, maybe even let us know how many days you've been here. Is this your first live session you're watching, or have you been here for all of them or just a couple? That would be kind of cool to know. Mike, good to see you. I know you've been to all 3. I recognize the name. It looks like we have OTB, if I'm reading it correctly, Athletic. Welcome. Excited to have you on together. And business is slow. We're seeing that across the country, I believe across the world. And so it's a great time to think deeply about your business and really work on your business. So the idea behind these events is we're going to teach you those things. So day 1, we talked through building a good sales process. Day 2, we talked a little bit about some different projects and how to apply screen printed transfers, but really pivoted that into what product to use when to make you a more confident, capable decorator when you're quoting jobs and making sure you have the capabilities to print any type of job. And here on day 3, our core topic is making money through online stores, and we're going to talk about some specific ideas that you can execute right now with online stores that will hopefully help others in your community and maybe help you to grow your business during this challenging time. But first, we've been reading your feedback for those of you that have completed our survey. We've gotten a lot of feedback, and one of the topics that continually comes through is, from a project basis, is learning more about printing with other effects other than just glitter, specifically foil. And so we're going to open up the show today by talking about the 3 different ways that you can decorate with foil with the heat press. I'm going to compare and contrast them quickly for you. We're going to do a couple applications up front and one foil application at the end that will put a big bow on this thing and tie it all together. So first off, when we talk through heat transfer foil, the typical way to decorate with heat transfer foil is that you purchase a roll of foil, and screen printers have been buying these rolls of foil for years. And what they do is they screen print on their screen printing press down in adhesive. Typically, they tint that adhesive that's going to be the color of the foil that they're using. And then after they screen print all of the shirts for the retail store, at the end of the line, it still hits the heat press and the sheet of foil gets applied down and the foil only sticks to where that print is. And so screen printers have been doing that, gosh, for as long as I've been in the industry, at least since the early 2000s and probably quite a bit of time before. And we started to think, how can we make foil available to somebody that just has a heat press, that doesn't have a screen printing press, or even for screen printers, is there a better way rather than having to tie up my screen printing press and my heat press for foil design? So one of our themes that we've been going through here is screen printed transfers. And so a screen printed transfer, the really quick solution is screen printing ink on a sheet of carrier paper that you can order from Transfer Express and receive into your place. And this is actual Plastisol ink or whatever ink is used depending on the transfer formula that you order, and you can gang up your design. So in this case, we created a school spirit design. I have 2 designs on this 11¼ by 14-inch sheet. I'm going to trim those apart right now because these are going to be used for 2 different shirts. So I trim those apart. And now I have just the screen printed transfer. Now there's something different about this transfer. It's not like just a standard transfer. We've designed this one especially to work with foil. So now instead of having to screen print, you can buy a foil screen printed transfer. And so let's head over to the heat press and show you how this works. So I have our AutoClam 16 by 20 heat press, the same one I've been using all 3 days now. We'll switch it up eventually. And I have a crop top. This particular garment looks like it's a district garment, which is from Sanmar. And I'm going to start by doing the basics, which is loading my shirt onto the press. Now, screen printed transfers, just to review, usually require a medium to a firm pressure. So it's very important that you don't print them with a heat printing pillow, that you load them right onto the press or use a print perfect pad. And I'm going to start with my preheat to get rid of that moisture, wrinkles, to warm my garment to be able to receive the transfer. Now, screen printed transfers are printed in a mirror image. I'm going to flip that over and position it down. It's important that I remember where my print is relative to the top of my transfer sheet when I'm getting ready to position that down, so I can position it appropriately on the garment. You can see it has a gridded line on the back of this sheet from Transfer Express for easy placement. And this foil product, this foil transfer, takes 340 degrees, medium pressure, and 8 seconds altogether. So I'll apply it. My press will automatically open when it's finished. At this point, I can peel the foil backing hot. And you can see, it's kind of tough to see actually, but you're seeing this sort of image of just the print left behind. It's certainly not the color it started. It's more of a clear base for being able to apply it. And that clear base is a foil receptive. And so it's ready to take a sheet of foil, which you can order, that comes with the screen printed transfers from Transfer Express. You're just going to place that down over your print. And I like to just do this to make sure it has good contact. And then I'm going to cover it with a cover sheet. And then I'm going to apply it for the full recommended application. In this case, it requires 30 seconds. So I'm going to increase my time on my control board up to 30 seconds. This is twin timers, so you can change them both, or you can have it, if you're doing a lot of shirts, set one for 8 seconds for the foil layer and one for 30 seconds for your second layer. And then I'm just going to heat apply it down for that 30 seconds. And so the heat press is doing all the work for you. So again, just to review, this is one way to decorate with foil. Where you would want to use screen printed transfers is when you start to get a quantity of a job, because we are still burning a screen to create this foil transfer. So I'd say right around 2 dozen, 3 dozen pieces is when you should think about a screen printed transfer instead of the other ways that I'm about to show you. You'll hear the press, it's ready to automatically open. That's one of the benefits of the auto open press. And this is a cold peel application. So I'm going to carefully remove it from the press. I'm going to sit it on the table and let it cool completely down before I come back to it and peel the foil off. It will only leave the foil on the print. So that's the way number one to decorate with foil. Those are screen printed foil transfers from Transfer Express. You purchase the foil with it from Transfer Express. That's what we've tested for the best combination and the best durability. If you already have foil rolls on the shelf, you can experiment with that. It'll probably work. You can try it, but know that we haven't put it through the maximum durability test like we have the foil that we're selling in the sheets to accompany the transfers. So I'm going to look to see if there's any questions on that. I'm having a tough time reading the questions from this angle, so I'm going to take a little step to the right. My eyesight must be failing me here. So Jerry says, I did a shirt about 2 years ago, all foil, and it looks great still, so it's good. So yeah, foil can be a really good product. Generally, care instructions for foil that I recommend is machine wash cold. And then if you want it to maintain that bright foil luster, hang dry it. You can turn it inside out and tumble dry low cycle, but it'll kind of dull down the foil over time. Shouldn't crack or anything, but hang dry will keep it nice and looking great. So putting those care tags is great. Let's see, everybody's talking business is dead, phone not even ringing. Yeah, that's why we're broadcasting here. It's definitely a challenging time, and so we feel you on that. We're going through similar struggles with your business being down. We always said our success as a company is based on your success, so we're just trying to do the best possible thing we can to be able to punch our way out of this and pray for a good outcome for you and all the small business owners out there. And we're going to share some ideas around that in a bit, so thanks for that feedback. So this is one way to do foil. Let me feel to see if it's cooled down. It's pretty close. A little tip is if you need to cool something down quicker, just pressing it against a cold surface. Some people like to have a cookie sheet near their heat press or a cold window or a cold wall. If you're pressing in your garage or basement, you can probably find a concrete wall pretty easily. But having something to cool it down, because then after it's completed, you're going to be able to peel the backing away. And again, you see the foil is only sticking to where the print is, All of this stuff that's left behind on this sheet can be used if you want to experiment with that, or you can just pitch it. Foil is really inexpensive stuff, and I have the completed design, and wow, that's a lot of bling showing through there. So foil is a great, easy product to work with. So people are really liking the quality of this product, as Kathy states there. So that's one way to do foil. It's good for quantity of a logo. Now, there's another way to do foil that's consistent with what I would call our heat transfer vinyl or CAD cut workflow, cutting on a vinyl cutter. There's actually two ways you can decorate with foil this way. The most simple, which is the application we're going to do at the end, is buy a roll of material, just like any other heat transfer vinyl, that has the foil already in it and the adhesive already on the back. From Stahls, we call this product CAD Cut Metallic. And for our team that's helping me with comments, if we can put a link to the CAD Cut Metallic page in there, this is one of those products that people just have great feedback on. There's been foil products like this in the past that have been thick and kind of crack when you wash them. This is not that. This is just the foil layer, just the adhesive. We've come up with a special way to make it that just gives it that premium, nice finish on the garment. And later in the episode, Jenna is going to apply this design that's been cut and weeded and show you how to do a faux leather clutch or purse or something, whatever you call that thing that you're going to decorate. Right?
Wristlet, let's go with that.
Wristlet. So sorry, showing my weaknesses here. So that is the simplest way. So if you want a solid color of foil, even if it were this design, and you only needed one of them, or 6 of them, or 12 of them, it's going to be more cost effective to cut and weed it and do it that way versus buying the transfer. Okay? So those are I would say, the two most popular ways. Now the third way, which we've been selling a lot of, allows you to exercise your creativity a little bit more and create something unique. And that way is combining a product we call CAD Cut Adhesive. So basically, instead of the foil already being on the vinyl roll, we give you a roll of just adhesive that's designed for foil. You can cut that on your vinyl cutter, weed it away, and create a design. And this is going to be tough to see, so I'll load my black shirt back on the heat press so we can get a close look at this. Going to print a back location with this. We get a design that is just adhesive. So you're seeing it there, it's clear, see-through. This is actually cut on a vinyl cutter, weeded away, and is ready to just heat apply. So let's go ahead and print this, and I'll explain why this is unique and some cool things you can do with this. I'm going to preheat the back once again. Now, this particular product I'll position, let's do a back shoulder print here, just for an extra detail on the shirt. Now, this adhesive product, I'm looking at my cheat sheet for application, applies at 5 seconds at a light pressure and is a hot peel. So I want to make sure I get a light pressure. Really important to this step, so I'm going to remove it so I can test that. Yeah, that's a light pressure. I'm at a 0 on the press. And the importance of getting a light pressure, if you apply this with too heavy of a pressure, and you have like a garment that has a porous surface, like one of your cheap economy t-shirts, the adhesive will actually sink down into the fibers of the garment, and you'll see little pinholes when I do my foil layer. Now, if you're picking a premium blank like a performance polyester or a ring spun cotton, it's a little bit tighter weave. You don't have to worry about that pinholing as much. But if you're doing an economy t-shirt, you just want to apply this for about 5 seconds with a very light pressure. On this auto clam, I can always override it if I need to and just kind of pop it to get it off. That's going to be a hot peel. So I'm going to take my time, just make sure I got enough pressure and peel it hot. Okay, and now I have just my adhesive design sitting there. Get rid of my carrier sheet, and now I can lay on my foil layer. So I can do it much like I did the last one and just do a single color, but one of the cool things about this is you can mix and match and do some things. So you can cut this foil up and do stripes across the paw print. I like a really simple distressed effect where I'm going to take the base color of foil, and this is from your thin foil roll that you can buy or buy by the sheet from Transfer Express. I'm going to crumble it up because there's no adhesive on it, just the foil. I'm going to lay it over my print, and it's going to create all these gaps and these void areas. So the foil layer takes 10 seconds, and it needs a firm pressure. So I usually like to say a quarter of a turn is a number. So that puts me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get me up into the firm pressure range. 6, I was pretty close. So it's going to take 10 seconds for this layer. So give it 10 seconds. Should have used a cover sheet, so I'm going to open it real delicately to make sure it's not going to stick and lift. And this is a cold peel. Now, because I am doing the distressed effect, if I were doing a lot of these, I can throw this to the side and load it and do the second layer later. Again, I'm going to use the table to pull the heat out of this and cool it down, just so I can move a little bit quicker. And we can make sure Joe's alive there working the camera angles for us. We appreciate you, Joe.
While you're waiting for that to cool, Jerry asks if you can explain the difference between the first one and the second one that you're applying here now.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first design that I applied on the other side of the shirt is a screen printed transfer. So it's actually plastisol ink and adhesive that's been screen printing. So really it's a way to get to quantity. You can still do these effects like I'm showing you with distressing on that front transfer. It's really just once you get to a certain quantity you want to buy this way, versus the way I've just completed on the back is going through a vinyl cutter. You're buying the roll of adhesive and you're cutting it, which gives you a way to do as little as one. If I wanted to do a monogram or personalization, or a one-off shirt or a quantity of 6, right? Or cut to order for a web store, that would be the way to control that. So naturally, when you're doing a screen printed transfer and we're pulling ink through a screen, we're going to be able to do a lot finer detail as well. So that's one consideration, because we don't have to weed it. You won't either. And on the back, of course, with the adhesive, you're going to have to cut and weed it. So hopefully that makes sense, Jerry. If you can chime in and let me know if there's any follow-up questions on that. Now I'm going to load this back on, and I'm going to do my second color. And Jenna, if you can keep an eye out for any more questions. And I'm going to lay my second color of foil on top. I'm going to pick gold, and it's going to fill in all of the gap areas. So again, this is an imperfect print. No two garments are going to look the same because it's distressed, but you'll get a really cool effect on the finish with two colors. So for my second color, I'm going to do 10 seconds again and peel cold. I did increase my pressure a little bit since I was off by a digit on the last one. And it's very important we peel very cold on this one, because it has limited adhesive to stick to, because it's only filling in those gaps. So, Jenna, I told you we'd get more viewers if you were on. Joe loves your, Joe comments there that he or she loves all your designs, which is great.
Thank you. And just to throw this out there, if you guys want to try out the adhesive and foil, we do offer the exact application Josh is doing now as a sample. So they can actually get that online and try that out with their heat press.
So hopefully that's coming through. I'm going to try to get it at an angle where you can really see the gold filling out, and it just looks really cool. So it's just a nice way, if a team has two colors, it's a great way to incorporate team colors. And when it's distressed, if they are throwing it through the dryer and you have any issues with like not exactly perfect coverage, it gives you a little tolerance as a decorator to be able to print those types of things and do that. So we had a lot of questions around foil. I have a complete, I think 60 or 70 minute class on foil, which is one of our most watched videos on Stahls TV. So I know there's always questions around it. When I did that video, we didn't have the screen printed transfers available. This is a new product for this year from Transfer Express. But what we've been seeing is people that are cutting and weeding foil, they're like, this is painful when I get 50 shirts. Well, this is a better way. Order the foil screen printed transfers from Transfer Express. Continue to do both. You're going to get the same look and feel. Your customers aren't going to know the difference. You're just going to save yourself a ton of time and be able to make more money. So that's a school spirit shirt. So we are going to move to talk a little bit now about selling online and through online stores with the spin on it for the time that we're in right now. So I'm going to head over to the whiteboard, and we're going to talk through 3 ideas for web stores with what we are working with right now. So when we look at this, one is fundraising, and we're going to get a better look so we don't have the glare here, but there we go. Fundraising for local businesses impacted. So I'm good. So right now, when you think about, like, I'm following Facebook just in our local community. Actually, the Chamber of Commerce today basically just gave free membership in the county I'm in to every business in the community because local small businesses, including you guys, are struggling so much. And so with many bars and restaurants and other retail establishments being closed, you can only order takeout so many times a week. And there are people in your community that want to see those businesses that make up Main Street, the small business, stay open and get through this, and they want to support. So of course we can always buy gift cards for the future. That's a great way to do it. It's something that we've started to think about as well, and you should be thinking about to support those local businesses or even offering gift cards to your store. But you guys have a unique position in the market in that you can have online stores for fundraising. So think about, what if we set up a fundraising store for the local bar, the local restaurants, designed some designs, did a pop-up store that they can promote on their page that allowed you to make money, to be able to continue to print shirts in this downtime, but also kind of put the burden of promotion on them and give them a percentage of the profit so they can make money. So we see online stores being a great way to do that. The next one you see here is Virtual Spirit Week. I can't get rid of that. There it is. Just a little angle helps. Virtual Spirit Week. So a lot of the schools in the area that I'm seeing right now, my daughter's school right now, all the kids are home, so they're doing a virtual Spirit Week, which basically means each day they do something. So yesterday they were in their green, of course, for St. Patrick's Day. Today they did a red, white, and blue. Every school's a little bit different. But Friday, they're encouraging all the kids to wear their promotional apparel, their school apparel, representing their school to show unity. There's still the desire and the need from these schools and from the student body to have this togetherness. And t-shirts can bring people together, especially customized t-shirts, and it's a great way to be able to launch a sale, to maybe pull some money into the school for whatever they're going to have to do, whether that's cyber schooling or the additional costs of free lunches, or if it's a private school, paying the teachers. So a virtual Spirit Week is an opportunity for web stores right now. And then lastly, more business to consumer sales opportunities. If business to business and events are locked down for a certain amount of time, you really should be thinking, how can my business sell to consumers? We talked a little bit about that with some ideas for Etsy on our first episode, but I think online pop-up stores and being able to sell based on what's happening out there in the world, and personalization is still a valuable opportunity, because what are people going to do while they're home? A certain percentage are going to shop. They're probably not going to go out and buy a new house, a new car, or invest a ton of money, but certainly people are still buying t-shirts. We see stats where Amazon's hiring hundreds of thousands of workers to keep up with the demand of our essentials, and even to the fact of not shipping non-essential items. So it gives you as an apparel decorator an opportunity to be able to do some of that and stand up some marketing campaigns around Facebook. So those are three concepts. With that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Jenna, and she's going to talk a little bit about our Spirit Sale platform. Of course, if this is a fit for you, you can buy it. The price is $5.99 a year. But if you already have your own online web store platform, this is more to just inspire you to be able to capitalize on these opportunities, how you could do it.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Josh. So the first thing that we're going to look at is what you have listed there as number one is fundraising for local businesses to be able to help the small businesses in your area during this time. So on the computer screen here, we have a concept around a local business and different opportunities for you and then to collaborate on building products to help them and yourself all in one. So that's the beauty of Spirit Sale, and being in the industry that we're in, we can easily create things simply with Spirit Sale because it's only a few steps to get a store up and running. And we've made it very simple as far as adding product and uploading designs with each of these stores. So you can have unlimited amount of stores, so no matter which market or which niche you want to build a store around, this is certainly going to help. All right, so this just shows you an example of all the different accessories that you can add to the stores very simply because we've integrated two different catalogs, S&S Activewear and Sanmar. So it's really just as simple as selecting a product, clicking it, and dropping a design on it and pushing it right to the store. All right? So you're going to be able to customize for these local businesses and help them sell product so that they're able to still be able to make money during this time, and also help yourself out as well. All right, so this is one example. The other examples we have are the virtual Spirit Weeks that Josh mentioned. And what makes this fun for the students is they can come on and shop for spirit wear, shop for different accessories and products, and be able to customize as well. So that's a huge profit opportunity for apparel decorators, is customization in apparel. And this gives you such an easy ability for your clients to come on and customize whatever product they want that you allow them to do in the back end. So whether it be a design-specific customization piece, or if we hop over to this other store that we've built around a different school, you can also charge for those features and add personalization features in addition to just the customization. All right, so we saw on the Bellevue Pride store that you're able to add customization, but you can take it a step further and build personalization features around that as well. And the customer, they get to not only come on and spend time doing this, but they get to see firsthand what that's going to look like as they are making these changes. All right, so very easy. It makes it simple for the decorator, because as soon as they place this order, you get that order in. This file is created for you, so it's just either ordering the transfer or cutting it on your vinyl cutter real quick and producing this for them. And it's all of your online shopping experiences are very easy to navigate, and everything's very straightforward, and that's exactly how this is set up as well. So they're selecting their size, selecting whatever color they want the garment in, adding it to the cart, and then continuing with that checkout process. So all of these are very simple. Another concept Josh mentioned was the business to consumer sales opportunities. So if you're selling direct to consumer, these are great opportunities in offering accessories and personalization where they can come on and actually just add a monogram to an item. That way you can get a markup of these popular retail ready accessories and easily produce with heat transfer vinyl, such as what we were showing earlier with the CAD cut metallic and adhesive, being able to easily just load that into a vinyl cutter and cut out those personalization features.
Yeah, so just to add, what we're showing here is individualized web stores. So with a Spirit Sale subscription, you can launch as many web stores as you want. Jenna's shown 4 examples so far, but I just want to make sure everybody gets that. It's more than just building your own website. You are building an entire business or atmosphere for that business to send their customers to. So this school district doesn't see this school district's apparel. It's like it's their website. You're just managing it and printing the apparel on their behalf.
Exactly. All right. And then we were talking about building fundraisers as well. So this is just one concept for a local event, but this is a feature that you can add towards building fundraisers so customers can see how much they've raised towards that goal. So keep that in mind. During this time, people are loving to be able to help out. So this is a great concept to be able to drop that on the store and show how much profit they're helping their local business make. All right, so a little bit on the back end, I just want to show you just how simple. Earlier I mentioned it's just going through some basic framework steps and then just clicking what products you want to add. So I want to show you a little bit about what that looks like so you can see how streamlined and simple this process is. So we're just going to click Create New Store, and that's going to populate our framework section that walks us through all the steps in getting these built. So our first step is to create a store URL. So that's going to be specific to your customer. As Josh mentioned, these are client-specific web stores. So you're going to want the URL to be specific to them. Then you'll select your designer. So if you are looking to get customized heat transfer vinyl transfers, CAD Cut Designer is going to be your go-to. Same concept with Transfer Express. If you want to be able to utilize our templates and clip art that you can customize for your customers, you can use Transfer Express Designer, but that's going to give you a screen print transfer. So that's the biggest difference between the two. This is the heat transfer vinyl designer, and this is screen print. Now, if you're planning to do everything in-house, maybe you have a vinyl cutter and you're cutting heat transfer vinyl for those personalization items, then the DIY designer is where you can build that out as well. All right, so you can upload your own designs. We do have some template and clip arts and even some different font styles in there you can utilize as well. Next is some more logistic things. So you have your shipping methods. These are just our general options here. You can select up to as many as you want, but you will get your shipping providers set up in the settings tab. So you'll select whether you want to use USPS, UPS, FedEx, whichever. You'll connect those credentials in the settings tab, and those will start to populate. So those are an option, and we can start calculating pricing for your customer as they're selecting that shipping provider at checkout. Next step is your payment method. So again, as you're getting all the credentials logged in the settings tab, this is where this will be housed as well. So we have Stripe as a transaction method, and then PayPal and authorize.net. So you'll connect whichever payment transaction method you're planning to use here, and that will be an option. And then of course you can use offline payment if you're handling checks or anything like that. But we are practicing social distancing, so no face-to-face transactions as of now. All right, then you have your themes. So these are all customizable, but this is exactly what that storefront is going to look like to your customer. So what's nice about this is it's very easy to use. You just click what you want to change colors, upload logos, no coding needed. All right, so it takes the confusion out of actually getting that web store built. Once you're ready to make the store public, you have two options of whether you want to make a schedule for the store. So if you want the store to close after 2 weeks or a month, you can put the end date there. That way you can batch all of those orders together. So that's definitely optional. This isn't something you have to do. If you want to keep the store open for the longevity of your subscription, you can, but you do have the option to close that out as well. It's all about whether you want to keep inventory or batch orders together once the store closes.
Yeah, so there's a question that I think kind of relates to this that's asked, are the stores only for pre-decorated apparel? And so this schedule kind of helps with that. So first, you're definitely designing the looks as the shop owner, and you're publishing this collection online for that customer. You can include personalization elements, as Jenna showed, whether that's names, numbers, monograms, whatever that may be. But the idea is that you are getting pre-decorated apparel. Now, the other thing that I want to say is about like timing it. The timing thing is nice because it helps you to batch your orders. And so one, it gives your customer and those that want to support the business or the school a timeline to order by. Mm-hmm. And then it also allows you to group all your orders together. So if you limit your designs, let's take our first foil design, we limit it to that's our design, and we're merchandising that across 5 different shirts, a tee, a fashion shirt, a fleece, etc. Now, when it comes time to close the store and order, if I've sold 100 shirts, it's going to stink if it's 100 shirts in 20 different designs, but if it's 100 shirts in one design, I can get a really good price on a transfer and be able to simplify the batch manufacturing. And then, of course, there's the print to order. So if you're designing stuff to just be vinyl cut, you can launch that store, keep it open, and basically cut to order. But it is sort of pre-designed stuff, but I totally recommend printing to order and not pre-printing any of your inventory at all.
All right, and that's actually a common question that we get, so do keep that in mind. It's however you want to produce those orders, whether it be the one-offs or batching all those orders together. So thanks. And then you can also show a countdown clock on the store. So I like this feature because it gives your customers that incentive to buy now as opposed to just letting it sit in the cart. If they know a store is going to close by a certain time, they can get that order in. So you can customize a message on the store that lets them know when that store is going to close. If you want your customers to be able to add notes to their order, you can make that a requirement, and password protection is in an extreme case if you're working with customers that you're making proprietary designs for, and they need to purchase that with you, but they don't want it to be open to everyone, you can build a password on that store so that it's private to them. They can use that password to go on and order with you. At that point, you hit create after you're done walking through all those steps, and your store is then created. And all of your storefronts are housed within this platform, which makes it really easy, but with navigating in between two different stores if you have multiples open at a time. So we can go ahead to the Bellevue store that we showed earlier and see what that looks like, because this is an active running store. So the store details, this is essentially all that information we just went through, and adding the products is just as easy as building the store. So you have two options. You can pull directly from those catalogs that we mentioned earlier were integrated, Sanmar and SNS Activewear. Or you can upload your own product. So if you're currently working with a vendor or a brand that's not integrated with these catalogs, you can upload those yourself by just adding a custom product. But stock product is going to be the most streamlined process as far as getting these items in here. So you can see once we select Sanmar as the vendor we want to use here for importing products, it's going to pull directly what you get on Sanmar's website right into Spirit Sale. So you just click the image that you want to add, and it's going to show you what all colors it's available in. So you select which colors you want to add. Bellevue Pride is purple and yellow, so we're going to select those. And then it's going to give me a breakdown of the sizes it's available in and exactly how many are in stock, so I know I have enough there to fulfill orders. It does give you case pricing breakdown. So if you just kind of need a general idea of where your cost is for your cost to produce, your blank item will be listed here directly from the wholesale Sanmar pricing. It'll ask you one more time which designer you want to use. So you can swap in and out of different designers. Transfer Express designer we'll use for this demonstration. And then you just hit import product, and it's taking all the information for that garment, the colors, the images of each color we selected, and loading it up for us. And that includes the spec sheet of the product, so we know your customer knows all the details of it and everything else needed.
Couple quick answers to questions. Rosemary asks, any plans to get Square as a payment method? The answer is yes. It's on our development schedule, so hopefully that will be sooner than later. I don't have an exact time frame. Mike asked about Spirit Sale for Canadians, and that's also on our development schedule to be able to make this a platform that works well in Canada with tax rates and all the unique circumstances with shipping providers, etc. Again, I don't have an exact time frame on that, but I think we're talking months, not years. So that's important for both of those questions that I saw.
And we're also getting ready to add 2 new catalogs, Augusta Sportswear and Alpha Broder.
Okay.
So that would be, that's really going to help a lot of our decorators. I hear a lot of them working with a lot of sports apparel from Augusta. So that's one thing I'm pretty excited about to start showing customers during demos. All right, so we're in the designer. You can start importing your designs and building these mock-ups. What's great is not only do you have the ability to import your own artwork here by just selecting File Import. It takes all those major files, anywhere from a PNG to a vector cut. But just keep in mind, if you are importing your own designs, you will want those to be a vector file because that makes them editable in this designer. And then you have the ability to pull from the templates that you're familiar with if you're currently working with EasyView Designer at Transfer Express. So all of these are customizable as you're bringing them in. So anything that you want to utilize and swap in and out, you have the ability to do. So just select what you want to edit. I'm gonna zoom in here.
I'm going to say it's going to take some skill to be able to do it from that level.
So you just zoom in and then select which piece you want to edit. If I'm editing Compton Eagles, I just double click that and then change out what I want it to say. So if you're familiar with any template customization, it's going to work just like your typical artwork designers do. So what's great about this too is the color changing. So really, like, one important thing I like to highlight here is as you're importing the different color garments, you want to make sure that you are swapping over to those to make sure the model and everything is going to be exactly the same, and make sure it's being represented accurately on the other color. So you have the ability to come in here and change your colors, all of that. All right, so whenever we are adding personalization, very simple. All you're doing here is just adding text and dropping where you want that customization or personalization features to be. So we have a variety of fonts that you can choose from. And your typical editing features that you get in most artwork platforms are going to be in here as well. So for them to be able to customize this on their end, they'll select Allow Edit. And then if you want to charge for that, all you have to do is give it a pricing label so that when you're in the next tab, you know where to set that charge.
Yeah, and so this is all tough to retain. You'll be able to go back and watch us. But no, once you invest in this, there is a complete training curriculum, video training that you can walk through that walks you through all of these details.
There is. And of course, you can always sign up for the one-on-one demos as well. So pricing tab, this is all pretty straightforward once again. Your apparel cost is listed here. You can apply your sell price by just selecting set global sell price. So if you want to charge $14 for the t-shirt and then charge $5 for the personalization on the back, that's where you can set all of that pricing, and it'll break all that down on the front end of the store so the customer knows what they're being charged for each item.
Yeah, and then the fundraising fee, can you show how to do that? Because I think that's really important to some of these opportunities.
Absolutely. So apparel cost is already listed. You don't really have to worry about filling that out. But this is where you set your fundraising fee. And this is all done by dollar amount. So you select a product you want to go towards the fundraiser and give it a dollar amount, and it'll take it directly from the payment they made towards that garment. So it's not adding $3, it's taking $3 of what they paid and giving that towards the business or organization that this fundraiser is going towards.
Yeah, so the store with that fundraising calculator will basically tally that up, and so they'll see an amount towards goal. And if you set a particular goal, everybody can kind of work together to promote and reach that in the time. And then you can also run reports, a fundraising report on the back end to be able to give that to the administrator of the school or the owner of the business. And so they can kind of keep track on where they're at and which of their customers or supporters, fans, have actually placed orders in the store. So I think especially in this time, the idea of these client-specific web stores is a really opportune time, not only just for making money, but to be able to contribute and help and give another way for people to be able to raise funds and keep the lights on, honestly, in some of these businesses. So hopefully you enjoyed that concept. Again, if you're joining late, that was Stahls Spirit Sale. This is our Making It Together live educational events, which are happening weekdays at 11 a.m. And we have a special survey for those of you that are attending. We're going to flash that survey link on the screen right now. Make sure you visit this because it's going to do two things. One, it's only 4 questions. There are some detailed information on your contact info, but it's 4 questions. And the most important question is the 4th one. It says, what types of content would you like to see in the future? The stuff we are showing today is points of feedback we've gotten in that survey from the last 2 days. And we are literally coming up with tomorrow's class today. Of course, we have some ideas based on the feedback that's already been given, but contribute. We're looking for themes. We're looking to cover things that are going to help you in your business. And the other cool part is when you enter this survey, our way to kind of bribe you into doing that is, of course, through giveaways, because who doesn't like a giveaway? And so what we're giving away each day is 3 marketing kits. So the marketing kit is a business in a box, basically a t-shirt business in a box from Transfer Express. So if you want to get 30 display samples that you can practice with these different ink formulas on your heat press, including foil and stretch litho and goof proof and elastic prints, all sorts of ink formulas, you can get those in this box. Not only can you get that, but you can also get our personalized idea book with your company name. You can get a black and white generic idea book that you can drop off or mail out to customers so they can look through and customize a t-shirt, help to build the designs that are going out on these web store. Also, you get a physical copy of the ink color selector, which is the ink palette that we just showed you in Spirit Sale and also on transferexpress.com, and a lot of other things like a price guide, application, wall chart, etc., and a $10 off coupon. So this marketing kit sells for $49 on transferexpress.com. It's $12 flat rate shipping. It's a t-shirt business in a box. It's a great project, a great way for you to experiment in your business while you're a little bit slow. And for those of you that have filled out the survey up until the beginning of the show, or at least an hour before that, we have those in a stack. So I'm going to grab those now, and we're going to draw for our 3 free winners. For those of you that won yesterday, we've already emailed you the coupon to fill out to redeem your free marketing kit. So I just randomly select. These have been shuffled like a deck of cards. Here's a winner number 1. Here's winner number 2. You know what? Those want to stick together, so let's do 2 and 3 all together. Now, if you win, you'll be pulled out of tomorrow's giveaway for the marketing kits, but we may do some more giveaways as we get later in the month and give away some other things like the shirts that we're decorating. We're going to do a day and do that. So the first winner today is Michelle Williams from Michelle's Vinyl Studio from Iowa. Congratulations, Michelle. That's the best applause you have. Let's work on that for the next one. All right. Next one is, I'm not going to pronounce the last name, but I'm going to go with Judy from the Embroidery Source in Dade City, Florida. Congratulations, Judy.
There we go.
There we go. All right, and then the last winner for today is Travis from Specialties in Branson, Missouri. So congratulations, Travis. Each of you will be getting an email from me that gives you the coupon to redeem your free marketing kit, and we'll go ahead and mail that out for you. So the last thing we want to show today, Jenna's going to head over to the heat press. We are going to talk about this business-to-consumer sales opportunity. She showed you the monogramming side of Spirit Sale in case you want to drum up a personalized product store, and now she's going to show you a project with our foil, or metallic, sorry.
So the 16 by 20 was loaded on there. I'm dropping in the 6 by 10 by just removing that platen with the little quick latch lever and placing it in that landscape view, because whenever we are working with this particular piece, we want to make sure that the zipper is dropping in the back and we're isolating the print area here. Now, one thing with this item, so this is sourced from...
You're just a little bit in front of the camera angle there.
Oh, okay. So whenever you are working with items like this that are fully printed, so this is from Viv and Lou, this is completely sublimated. So we want to make sure that none of this is being activated by the heat and transferring through our transfer 1 and 2 to our upper heating element. So as I'm testing my pressure here and doing a little bit of a preheat, I'm going to make sure that I have that cover sheet on hand so that we're not messing with that at all. All right, so Josh mentioned we are working with CAD Cut Metallic. So this is that one-step foil that comes in the roll. So this is cut out on a vinyl cutter. So, or you can order it as a transfer if you're not vinyl cutting in-house at this time. So we're just removing that carrier that's on there and dropping this in place. What's really great about this product is that it is dye inhibiting. So because of the nature of metallic, it's going to block any of those dyes from migrating through. So metallic is not only great for that high shine and special effect finish, but it's going to keep any of that dye migration from changing the color of that true gold mirror-like finish to any of that pattern that could come through. All right, and this is a 15-second application, so we're set to 30. So I'm going to pop this open early. And this is a cold peel, so we'll wait for this to cool. And then we can remove that carrier. And now we have that one-step foil application. So you don't need the adhesive or anything like that. But between the two, if you're looking for more colors, foil definitely has a lot more at this time. But if you're looking for production friendly for your basic gold, silvers, and a few other colors, metallic is a great option as well. Right, so it's still a little hot, so I'm going to wait for...
So can I ask just a quick question? I know that doesn't have a liner, so you're not worried about it. But if they had a bag that had a liner that would stick together when applying, do you have any tips for being able to separate that?
Yeah, so if the footprint of your press isn't too big, you can thread the item on. So, or even if you're working with a tote bag and not something so small, you could thread that on and isolate the area that way. But you can also use heat printing pillows and heat printing pads to open that up and make sure that nothing's sticking together or anything like that. All right, so once we remove the carrier, that's done. We don't need another step at all. So again, it's just a 300-degree application for 10 to 15 seconds, and you get that really high-end metallic look. It's really, really popular right now.
Excellent. And then I know we have a little bit more time. Is your temperature at a place where you can show the other project, or at least try it?
It's a little high, but we can definitely test it.
Let's try it. Why not?
All right.
Learn from our mistakes.
So our next application we had planned for today is glitter flake. So this is another really popular bling product, and we're actually going to be heat applying on a wristlet that has a lot of different things that we're going to need some additional accessories for. So we're still going to use our 6x10 platen, but we're going to be inserting a print perfect pad. So that accessory I showed earlier to help raise and isolate areas, we're going to insert that because there is a pocket in here that we want to keep from causing uneven pressure. All right, so we can go ahead and lay that on our platen. The next thing we need to be a little bit concerned about is the faux leather here. So this leather, because it is faux, it has some plastic in it and it could melt from that high heat. So we're gonna be using a flexible application pad, and this is gonna absorb a lot of that heat and keep this heat sensitive piece here or panel from actually melting or bubbling up. So we'll just place our design here. Before I lock down, I'm gonna adjust my pressure and see where I'm at there, since we do have a lot on the platen. And anytime you're using the flexible application pad, you're gonna add an additional 10 seconds to your recommended time. So your temperature is gonna stay the same. Glitter flake applies at 302 degrees, and it applies for 10 to 15 seconds. So we're gonna let this go for a full 25 seconds so that we're adding that 10-second dwell time so that there's enough time for that heat to make it through the flex pad, ensuring that the adhesive is still adhering without anything melting. And glitter flake is a hot peel, so we can peel that back once it's done. And we have a completed accessory. So this is another item that was sourced from Viv and Lou. And when you're considering the different items that you want to offer, a lot of these high-end pieces will do very well for a profit opportunity, especially if you're doing direct-to-consumer for personalization.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's like basically you've taken a high-end item, which can already command a high price, and then you've added personalization to it, which gives an even higher price. And then I know when you start to package and bundle these looks together to have a consistent theme, then you start to increase your average ticket size, your average order size, to be able to make more profit on the customers that are buying. So focus on those metrics as well as how can I increase my average order size during this time through online stores or any other sales. So again, this is our live educational events. We're feeling our way through this just like you, but we're staying positive, we're having fun, and we're trying to teach you things that can make an impact in your business. We say we're making it together because we rely on you as customers to be successful so we can continue to be successful as a company as well. So if you didn't get a chance to see that survey that you need to fill out to enter our giveaway for tomorrow, we're going to put that on the screen one more time. Going to look for some last questions and then close off today's episode. So good. Oh, Dale has a great tip. So you can also use a Teflon sheet or a non-stick cover sheet, fold it into the interior to prevent it from melting together. So if you don't have that pad, that's a great tip. Use that Teflon sheet in between for mash or these types of items. Everybody's excited about the winners. We are too. Glad we can help you, Chanel, tremendously. Congrats to the winners. That's pretty much all I'm seeing right now. So again, we'll keep an eye open for comments. Tomorrow's episode, I'm going to give a little teaser. I've been seeing our audience live, at least, hovering around, it's 45 right now. Well, what's the highest you've seen it? 60 some? 67 is the highest. So if during tomorrow's live episode, we can get up to, let's say, 80 viewers at any given time, I will show you a special video that I've had in the bank since March. It is a hack that I think's a really cool take on an existing product. Not many people have seen it. We haven't published it at all. But if we can get to 80 viewers, once we hit that number, we'll go ahead and have that video queued up, and we'll show you this hack that I think you're really going to like. It's interesting with what you can do. Just a wild concept we came up with. So for those of you that joined, thank you so much. Now go out there and sell something or work on your business, improve your business during that downtime. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.